Hi, this is Mike coming from the New York Notary Association, and today is January 29th, 2024. And we're going to be talking today. It's going to be a pretty quick video to review conflict of interest, what you shouldn't notarize at work, because basically you're too close to it, and if you're too close, you'll get burned. So we're going to explain some of the strange language that they use in the New York Notary License Law that's very confusing and people call about it all the time. So you want to avoid potential professional misconduct charges, civil damages, that's where people could sue you or your employer if you notarize the wrong thing, and possible loss or suspension of your own notary license. All not good things, and they're all under different kinds of circumstances. We'll try to cover those in general. So we're not going to read everything in the notary license law. We're going to go ahead and give you some quotes from the law and kind of break it down. There's a lot of strange language in the law, the legalese, and it confuses a lot of people. So under notary public disqualifications, though a person may be eligible to hold the office of notary, the person may be disqualified to act in certain cases by reason of having an interest in the case. And what they mean by disqualified to act in certain cases means when people bring something to you to be notarized, that's a certain case. And you wouldn't be disqualified before you did it. They would tell you that you were disqualified after you did it and then go ahead and unrecord or unnotarize what you did. And that would be because you had personal interest by reason of having an interest in the case. So let's get more into what they mean by interest and all the ramifications of that. So by interest, it is referring to a conflict of interest, and everyone's pretty much familiar with the term conflict of interest, where you are not allowed to notarize the document because you are too closely tied to it personally, and there's a lot of different ways that can be determined. So conflict of interest, definition from the dictionary, it's a situation in which the concerns or aims of two different parties or more, because there can be more than two parties involved in something you notarized, are incompatible. The conflict of interest between elected officials, for example, and corporate lobbyists. Lobbyists can be representing a huge industry and wining and dining the elected officials to have them vote on something that's in the best interest of the lobbyist client that could be a major industry. Um, and we won't get into that because that's too political. So a situation in which a person is in a position to derive personal benefit from actions or decisions made in their official capacity. Okay, so let's take a closer look at that. So to state the rule broadly, this is in the law, if the notary is party to or directly and pecuniarily interested in the transaction is what's being notarized, the person is not capable of acting in that case. So it doesn't say you weren't capable to notarize it. It says you weren't capable to do it legally, and afterwards there could be trouble. So pecuniary, you can't find pecuniarily anywhere in the dictionary, but you can find the basic word pecuniary, and it's of relating to or consisting of money. And here's some synonyms: dollars and cents, monetary, financial, like pocket money or fiscal. So, everything from you personally to the government level. So in New York, the courts have held an acknowledgement. That's one way we notarize things, where people appear before you, but they don't swear. The courts have held an acknowledgement that you've notarized taken by a person financially or beneficially interested in a party to the conveyance. A conveyance means real estate paperwork, for example, or instrument. That means anything you notarize. Anything you notarize can be an instrument. It doesn't have to be a conveyance. It doesn't have to be real estate, of which it is a party to be a nullity. It means null and void. So in layman's language, in New York, the courts found that if you're notarizing something, including an acknowledgement, that could be an affidavit too, I don't know why they just say an acknowledgement, taken by you, and if you are a notary who's financially or beneficially interested in somebody's signature you're notarizing in that document, or the document itself that can be real estate, or anything that you notarize, which is any kind of an instrument that you're notarizing, it'd be null and void. They would go back later and unrecord it, and then you could have problems. So the law says also that legal consideration includes but is not limited to the big three, I call them: money, services, and love and affection. So this is where I explain what the law says, because one part of the law says you can't have legal consideration when you're notarizing something as the notary. So the definition in the law of legal consideration is what I call the big three. Again, money, services, and love and affection. But it says it's not limited to. It includes but is not limited to money, services, and love and affection. So then what about hate? So everybody understands you shouldn't notarize something where you're going to get money directly as a result. Services. So what if you're notarizing something and you're going to get free services from a lawyer, like legal services or free education or free accounting services or free real estate services or free consulting, any kind of a service that's worth money, but you're not getting money directly. If you're getting that because you notarized it, that's a conflict of interest because that's legal consideration. Then there's love and affection. So, I mean, that's a pretty broad term. People call all the time asking if they should notarize something for somebody they're closely related to, usually spouses or siblings, or they're the people notarizing for their own children. And, then they go out, they go, should I notarize for my in-law? I mean, only you can say if there's love and affection in that. And then if anybody ever challenged you, you'd have a chance in court to have to defend that you didn't have love and affection in that example for your in-law. Um, my advice is anytime there's a doubt, stay away from it. Now, the law didn't say hate, but hate would be, but is not limited to. So it's anything of value to you. Let's face it, some people are really invested in their hate. They value their hate. And if they hate somebody and they're notarizing it and it, it could somehow hurt that person what they're notarizing and benefit them, like what if it was, family court and they're on one side of that argument. So stay away from anything you're involved in that could be construed as any kind of a value, not just the big three: money, services, and love and affection. So that's pretty broad, but that's something to really think about. So I think that pretty much tells you what you can and can't do at work. And of course, the law goes more into things that are talking about conveyances and real estate because those are the big money ones. So the courts always rule on money and they always talk about money in the real estate. But I'm not going to go into all those examples they give in the notary license law. If somebody's a notary in a real estate environment or a corporate filing environment, you should be aware of those. So basically, we are saying do not notarize anything where you have something personally to gain from the instrument, the thing you're notarizing, and you're not notarizing or the people who will benefit from what you are notarizing. So the people whose signatures, so it's not just limited to the document, it pertains to the people who's are behind that document and your relationship to them or the people's signatures you're witnessing. So this generally does not include doing things for your employer because you only work there. That's the big question people have when they see this. Does that mean I can't notarize where I work because if my company makes money, I get paid by them? No, that's not what this is saying. It would be a problem though if you were notarizing your boss signing your own personal year-end bonus agreement. Do you see the difference between that? Just because you work somewhere doesn't mean that you can't notarize things for the company you work for because the company will benefit. You can. As a matter of fact, the law says that officers and employees of a corporation can notarize for fellow officers and employees of the corporation for anything in general for the corporation. So unless you were, of course, a corporate officer and you were going to receive some kind of shares and what you're notarizing is going to make your shares go up. That would be in a gray line, borderline. I would stay away from that kind of a scenario. When in doubt, once again, just go ahead and step down and let another notary come in who can't be possibly construed as having a conflict of interest. So I hope that helped clear things up for people. If you have any questions, you can always call 347-427-9091 extension 1. You can visit www.notaryeverything.com if you're somebody who's still looking at these videos and you're thinking about getting your notary license, go to notaryeverything.com. It's a little slow. It switches over to our main website. It's a forwarding address to how to become a notary in ny.com. And you can see our online New York notary licensing class, which is only $77 there, and remote online notary license class for those of you that are already a notary and you want to upgrade to become a remote online notary and be able to notarize for outside of New York, all of 50 states, and in some cases foreign countries, and charge $25 a signature. That's how you can do that. We have Notary Supplies, stamps, seals, logbooks, and other things like wall displays and membership to get this newsletter in the Notary Association and not just wait for videos. There's much more in the newsletter itself. So the links for everything above are in the description box below. If watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can go ahead and keep doing this for you. All right, so we'll see you next time.